another night to learn about how to get fit. Why is it very important, and what are the benefits that you can actually have for yourself when you start trying to understand, not just do, but understand why fitness is very, very important to implement in your lifestyle. Ganon. And of course, if you want to sweat it out, you want to challenge yourself with beginner stuff. And if you're a beginner, don't be scared. Watch my beginner's do's and don'ts, and then continue to my beginner workouts. You don't need to be a member in the gym. You don't need any equipment at all. All you need is you yourself. Ayan. And follow me, work out with me in the comfort of your bed. The bath of your bed. Biglang naging bed. Why is it in the bed? So, it is 11 parts, okay? There's actually parts of physical fitness, and I didn't actually understand this, but once you get to the little details, then you can actually trick yourself to actually start doing it. If you're an athlete or you're just passionate of doing things, the six are referred to as contributing to health-related physical fitness because scientists in kinesiology have shown that they can reduce your risk of chronic disease and promote good health and wellness. So this is what we're going to talk about this time, all health related, because I want you to understand these things very, very like deep, because I like getting deep. Ganon. Ayan. This is from Human Kinetics, guys. So I'm trying to kind of like give you articles to make sure that you also know where are the articles or where are the stuff that like information I'm giving you, so you can always cross-reference it in your own way. Because fitness is not just about, okay, I understand I need to be healthy, blah, blah, blah. But I really think like if you can understand the little things, the small information, why is it very important to you? I think you can change your mindset to actually do it, even if you don't want to. Because for me, it does work. I don't know if I'm just information hungry, but I do really hope from the bottom of my core that you are the type of person like that as well. Like you actually want information. The main aim of health related fitness. These are the main aims, guys. So listen very, very carefully. Educating clients about their present health-related fitness status in relationship to standard age and sex match normative values. Ayan, that's one of the things. Providing data that are helpful for making clinical decision while prescribing exercises to address all fitness components. That's one of the things that I do as a personal trainer actually. And collecting baseline and follow-up data that allow evaluation of progress by exercise program participants. And that's why sometimes I ask you guys to give me your videos, decent videos only, if you don't want to be trending or viral, because I'm going to show it if you're not decent. And motivating participants by establishing SMART goals. You might ask, what is a SMART goal, guys? So SMART goals is specific, measurable, attainable or assignable, realistic, and time related. These are actually kind of like more specific when it comes to my work, but I just think if you are actually wanting to kind of like hire a personal trainer, make sure to kind of like look into these little things, because not to badmouth as personal trainer, there's a lot of shitty personal trainers out there. They might be certified, but they're not really good at their job. So make sure as a client, as a customer, you understand what you want, and you understand what, no, not what you want, but what you need for a personal trainer to hire. And stratifying cardiovascular risk. This is the health, 6 parts of health related fitness. One, we talk about it, which is the cardiorespiratory. And muscular strength, there are a number of ways to measure muscular strength. Generally, lifting a set of weight in a prescribed position and comparing the results any given population is the best way. It might bore you guys, but when it comes to muscle strength, this is where lifting comes from. And that's why it's not just about, like cardio and stuff like that. It has to be all around. Like try to lift as well. Not to lift like super heavy, but enough. Like you can always start in small weights. Okay, muscular strength is the amount of force your muscles can produce. So sometimes strength and also power can really, really be confusing to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not native English speaker. So if I could actually just kind of like compare them to you guys, maybe you can understand why it's not just about cardio, it's not just about stretching, but you also have to understand your muscles. You're losing muscles every year. Your bone mass, you lose that. So if you don't do any resistance training, workout, lifting, buhat sa Tagalog, your muscles will definitely gonna get weak. When it's weak, that means you're gonna have an imbalance in your body because one part of your muscle is not working properly, and that's why you have pains and aches. That's why your lower back aches. That's why your shoulder aches, your elbows. Those are one of the factors that actually makes you in pain. We just need to understand our own body, and whether you believe it or not, as time goes by, you're gonna create a lot of bad habits, like bad posture, especially we're always on our phones, on the computer. You started to slouch, and when you start to slouch, your muscle will be flexed all the time, or not flexed, but more of like stretched all the time. It's overstretched, meaning you don't even use it. So if you don't exercise, those muscles that you are not using because of all the accumulation of bad posture, bad habit, it'll take a toll in your body, and then you look like shit. So that's basically why it's very important to understand that physical fitness is just not one thing. It's not just about looking pretty unless you're in competition. But if you're just a normal average Joe, normal average Joe, then you just need physical fitness so that you can actually do things in the least amount of effort, so you can actually enjoy life to the fullest because you are fit, not just physically, but you're fit mentally, emotionally. You can handle yourself basically. So that's what I'm trying to teach all of us, even including me. With you guys, I learn a lot about you guys too. So, it's not just me teaching you, you guys are also teaching me things. It is often measured by how much weight you can lift or how much resistance you can overcome. So, examples of activities that require good strength are lifting a heavy weight and pushing a heavy box. So, these are the why is it very important. Why physical fitness is important, because it also tackles about that. Not just losing fat, but building muscles. And when it comes to girls, there's a lot of myth out there that I don't know if you're a woman and you're watching this, let me know in the comments down below if you think like you yourself, the reason you don't lift, the reason you don't work out your muscle is because you think you're gonna look like a man. It's not true. Never will be, because women has different testosterone. We have different body than guys. No matter how much weight lifting you do, there's a certain size you can go. And if you see all these girls that are kind of like manly, they're probably taking a different stuff. Don't be worried about that. You're not gonna look like a man unless you take steroids, and you'll probably sound like a man. Always natural, as much as you can, always go for a natural route. Strength focuses on the maximal force or muscle group of muscles can generate against resistance, with an emphasis on lifting heavy weights for fewer repetitions. Wow! Love it. Diba? Cross-referencing already, Sir Galaan. I love that. Do you like isometric workouts? Yes, I do that. As a personal trainer, I love not just studying and learning different stuff. I also like to do it myself so I can understand how to move and I can understand the limitations. And this is just me. So basically, how can you teach something when you don't even know how to execute it properly? But I do have limitations for myself as well. There are certain exercises that I won't do. So sometimes I don't really touch that. I have kind of like my own way of teaching things, safer ways. So yes, definitely do isometric workouts. And power involves the ability to generate force quickly, and incorporating both strength and speed in the execution of movements, often with explosive exercises. Thank you, Google. Diba? I like that. See, guys, this is what I'm saying. I get it. Sometimes I indulge myself with stupid stuff on the internet, watching dumb stuff. That's why I love reality TV show. I love body tests. I love gossiping. Is because it's sometimes kind of relaxing for me to not think a lot. But at the same time, I also indulge on the net to kind of like understand life, read things that it will actually, give my brain some nutrition, good nutrition. So the obesity, obese, BMI, body mass index. If you're really old, I don't know when it starts in other country, but in Japan, they actually have this 6-month general checkup. Like a lot of people in Japan are very responsible to check their health. So body mass index, where do you rank, in the body category? In a simpler term of ways. If you're fat, if you're malnourished. So BMI, if you're under 25, you're okay. But if you're over 25, then you're definitely need physical fitness in your life. Waist to hip ratio is also another thing, guys. This is very, 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 very important. To explain this, when your waist is in a certain circumference, there's a lot of factual diseases that comes to play when you have that. That's why, a lot of people actually look out for their waist to hip ratio. These are the risk category. If you're in there, anywhere in there, guys, this is the risk category for women and for men. So now measure yourselves, guys. Do you have a measuring thing? Measure yourselves and make sure you're not in this, so very low, high, very high. And at the same time with body mass index, depending on kind of like what is your purpose of doing your fitness, sometimes that could be very much dismissed for some people, but it's a rare case scenario. But if you're just a normal Joe, then this is what you have to understand. Remember to not go overboard so that you won't be in a high risk category. Endurance. This is another thing. It is the ability of muscle group to execute repeated contractions over a period of time sufficient to cause muscle fatigue or maintain a specific percentage of the maximal voluntary contraction for a prolonged period of time. In other words, if you want to be good at sex, this is what you need. Ito yung kailangan nyo. Ito yung tipong pag naglalakad ka, o kapag umiiyot ka, ilang beses mo man gabitin yung muscle na yun, down and up or, left or right, hindi ka madaling mapagod. Kasi yung muscle mo, kahit ilang beses ka pa humakbang, kahit ilang beses ka pa tumakbo, hindi siya mabilis mapagod. That is endurance. In Japan, we kind of like use the word stamina. But not because we have muscle endurance. This is why you need muscle strength. Is because if you have muscle endurance but you don't have muscle strength, then you might hear the word tear or use like overuse, wear and tear. I think that's the English, wear and tear. Because you use it so many times, but the other muscles that surrounding that muscle, they're so weak that you're gonna overuse your joints, you're gonna overuse that muscle, and then it would lead to imbalance again. And that's what makes you have pain and aches. You know what I'm saying? It's correlated. Everything is connected, guys. This is how much important it is for you to understand these things. Ganon. And Timmy says, I am old school when it comes to sex thing. It has deeper meaning for me. Oh, diba? So everyone has different preferences. So make sure you're align with whomever your partner is going to be with. And you can overtrain one muscle working out. Yes, definitely. That's why I'm saying, guys, always make sure to do it the proper way. There's always a proper way of doing things. Don't become an ego lifter. Make sure to not just think about fitness as one thing only, because you're gonna need fitness in your life. That's something that is really for free if you know how to do it right. And it will save you a ton of money if you do that. Ganon. Last time I remember you told us we should know when to breathe. I did apply this when we're making love and it works well. It does give me extra more time. Exactly. Breathing is also a part of it. That's why you see a lot of trending or viral, like funny videos of people passing out when they're lifting, because they don't know how to breathe. And mind you, when we lift and you don't really understand the mechanism of breathing, your diaphragm, your muscle around your diaphragm, if you don't know how to engage those things, it's something that a lot of people, it's so common. And yet, when you're doing it, when you're implying it with your workouts, a lot of people actually fail to do it in a proper timing. So try it for yourself. Make sure to pay attention with your breathing. And some people, when they breathe out, they cannot engage their core at the same time when they're breathing out. So they're breathing in, just sucking their stomach. That doesn't mean you're engaging your core. Sucking your stomach in and engaging your core is two completely different things. If you're watching this, if you can actually practice your breathing and then incorporate it with your lifting so you don't hurt yourself. Breathing is paramount in lifting. Flexibility is the ability to move joint through its complete range of motion. I love that word, range of motion. When it comes to flexibility, that's where your range of motion. Range of motion meaning in one part of your body, there's always going to be a normal degree of how you bend it and how you stretch it. It's kind of like a fact thing that's kind of like fixed. When you get old, obviously you don't move as much, you don't move as when you were young. So all those muscles, just imagine a rubber band you put out in the sun. You know, it gets hard, fragile. And that's why flexibility is very important, because that's where your range of motion comes to play. Without proper range of motion, you cannot work out you cannot work out effectively when it comes to your muscle strength and also your endurance. Because if you cannot use all the range of motions that are offered to you with your body, because mind you, not everyone has the same flexibility. Some people can be very, very flexible.
That's what she said.
But if you're a normal Joe, there's a certain point that you really have to understand and actually practice. If you have arthritis, rheumatoid, it's so hard to pronounce that. Rheumatoid, rayuma sa Tagalog. It's all about range of motion. It's about flexibility. Because arthritis, your muscles basically contracted. It gets so hard. That's why sometimes winter, your neck, we called it in Japan katakori, meaning hard shoulder or hard traps, like your traps, back of your neck, all your upper back muscles. Sometimes it gets super painful that when it comes to that pain, it will be connecting to your brain and not brain, your head. And that's why you have headaches, because your muscle or back muscles or your neck muscles are so hard because of doing this, because it's so cold, So stretching, flexibility on those muscles, range of motions of your neck, things like that are very, very important. All are very connected, guys. It's all connected. I hope you can understand what I'm saying, guys, because this, for me, when I learned this in a deeper level, oh my God, I'm so like, I feel like it's just something information that is very, very common, and yet you don't give a shit or 2 cents about it. So I hope me talking about this can open up your mind of how important it is for you and for people that you love. So make sure you are into fitness. What to do if we have that tight muscle? So when it comes to tight muscles, guys, make sure to actually practice stretching. When it comes to stretching, there are types of stretching. One stretching is you don't move, you just stretch. That's static stretching. You're basically just pulling it, and then stay and hold that position. But what I'm saying is that static stretching is actually done after a workout. There's a lot of studies that actually proving that point, that it is better after a workout. Now, before working out, before having the best sex of your life, do dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching is something that you move, like you raise your hand down and up, down and up. These are all range of motion. This is also another part of stretching, and we called it dynamic stretching. This is the stretching that you want to incorporate in yourself, especially if you're lazy working out. You can incorporate dynamic stretching to actually calisthenics, like body weight workouts. You can actually incorporate those too. And if you're watching my workout uploads, you can understand why am I doing things that I do on my workout. Please do check them out. If you have any questions at all, please do Tagalog, Japanese, Nihongo, ayan, Portuguese, Brazilian, Spanish. I can't probably talk Spanish, but I probably can understand you. But all of those languages, I can support you on. Ayan. But let's stick with English if I don't know your language. Don't make me learn another language, guys, okay? It's pretty hard. Japanese is probably the hardest out of language that I've learned throughout my life. Japanese is the hardest for me, and I'm Japanese. O, di ba? Kalok. So make sure to subscribe. Ayan.